down in Centre Parks here, right? They spent over 200 million building this place. It's an amazing operation. You could not fault it in any way. They've got, I think it's like 210 acres or something like that, right? They're slagging and taking the piss, saying, yeah, paying 500 a night to stay in Longford now, right? But look, who's having the last laugh, because there's thousands of people here probably paying it, right? But I was just thinking, we've done this a few times ourselves in our own property business, but I think the future of wealth creation, right? And if you want to go and make money in property, right? It's not really about buying a 250 grand house. That is great. You know, you're buying 50 grand worth of equity. The way to create true wealth is to be able to pay more for the land than someone else, to be able to pay more for the property than someone else. Basically, to be able to pay more, right, is the way to create wealth. And if you think, right, what's the logic in paying more for something? Maybe you want to get it cheaper. Yeah, of course, that makes sense. But when a farmer looks at, or an investor looks at 200 acres of forest, and he knows that he'll get 6-7% return on the timber from that forest over 10 years, well then he can pay a certain amount. And you know, if I go and buy a property and I know I can rent it out for 1,500-1,600 a month, I can pay a certain amount for that, right? But when Centre Parks comes along and they know that they can put 500 log cabins on this place at this rate per night, they can then afford to pay more. So we bought a property at auction there a little while ago, and some smart arse says, paying top dollar at the height of the market, you're not as smart as you think you are. Okay, right, fair enough. We were able to pay much more. Like, we bought a building there for 900 grand last year. We were able to buy it for £1 million based on what we knew that we could do with the building, you know. In my opinion, you need to be looking at something that you can get an angle on, that nobody else can see that angle. They're bidding against people then that their business model is going to bring in 2 grand a month, 10 grand a month, wherever the case may be. But your business model, if it's successful, could bring in 10 times that, you know. And you'll find yourself in a situation that if you have your value add, for want of a better word, if you have your value add, you might only get success 3 out of 4 times. But the amount of earnings that you'll get from that 3 out of 4 times, it allows you to stay in the game, and it allows you to keep ploughing on at that, you know. Back in the recessionary days, you know, we were buying properties like for much cheaper than what it would cost to build them, you know. But them days for now are gone, in the most part. For now, they may be back at a different point in time, and they may be back at a different level, right? But if you are relying all the time on waiting until the market crashes, you could be sitting around for a long, long time. Whereas if you can find your value add, and you can go and do deals because you can pay more for the property than someone else, that's good business in my opinion, you know. Russell Brunson, the guy who owns ClickFunnels, like, he's a real clever guy. He's worth hundreds of millions now at this stage, and he was saying whoever can pay the most to acquire the customer will usually win. If you're selling a product for 100 quid with 90 quid profit, well then you can almost spend 50 quid to acquire the customer and you'll still make money. Whereas if you've got a really tight margin on something, it's tricky then. It's trickier to win the customer, you know. I come down here now and I seen firsthand what a little bit of ingenuity could do with what would otherwise just have been forest land, you know.